There are buildings that demand attention the moment you arrive. They rise high, they announce power, they declare human presence. And then there is Maraya. In the vast silence of the Saudi desert, there exists a structure that almost refuses to be noticed. Not because it is small, but because it reflects everything around it so completely that it becomes invisible. Mountains stretch across its surface. The sky duplicates itself. Light bends and multiplies. You don't approach Maraya the way you approach most buildings. You discover it slowly, almost accidentally. And that is exactly the point. This is not a story about a concert hall alone. This is a story about humility in design, about listening to the land, and about a moment when modern ambition chose restraint over dominance. Long before Maraya existed, AlUla was already ancient. This valley has watched caravans pass through for thousands of years. Traders once crossed these lands carrying incense, spices, stories, and belief systems that shaped civilizations. The Nabateans carved their presence directly into the sandstone, creating tombs that still stand with quiet authority. Empires came believing they would last forever. None of them did, yet AlUla remained. Wind carved the rocks, sun bleached the sand. Time slowed down here in a way it rarely does elsewhere. Even today, standing in AlUla feels like standing inside a memory rather than a place. Any structure placed here would inevitably be measured against centuries, not trends. The land does not forgive arrogance easily, so the challenge was unprecedented. How do you build something new in a place that already feels complete? Most modern architecture answers challenges with scale, bigger, taller, louder. But in AlUla, scale would have failed. The desert does not compete, it outlasts. The architects of Maraya faced a rare realization. The only way to build here was to step aside. Not to overpower the landscape, but to allow it to remain the main presence. The solution was not concrete, it was reflection. Maraya means mirrors in Arabic, but these mirrors are not decorative, they are philosophical. Covering more than 9,000 square meters, the mirrored panels do not display the building itself, they display the desert. Mountains fold endlessly across the surface. The horizon expands. Light changes the structure minute by minute. In the morning, Maraya feels almost transparent. At midday, it blends into brightness. At sunset, it glows with colors it does not own. The building never looks the same twice because the land never does. This is architecture that refuses to be the subject. Instead, it becomes the frame. Making a building disappear is far more difficult than making it stand out. The Saudi desert is extreme. Temperatures rise aggressively. Winds carry sand fine enough to damage surfaces. Any misalignment in the mirrored panels would distort the reflection and destroy the illusion. Each panel had to be engineered for precision and durability. The seams had to vanish. The angles had to align perfectly with the surrounding environment. The mirrors needed to reflect without blinding, withstand heat without warping, and endure time without losing clarity. This was not only architecture, it was controlled restraint. In 2020, Maraya was recognized by Guinness World Records as the largest mirrored building in the world. Yet this record feels almost ironic. The building does not celebrate size, it hides it. The concert hall was designed by the Italian architecture firm Forma, working in collaboration with international engineering teams. Known for blending art, performance spaces, and architecture, Forma approached Maraya not as a building, but as an experience shaped by its environment. The challenge was unprecedented. The structure needed to exist in one of the most historically sensitive and visually powerful landscapes on Earth, without disrupting it. Every decision was guided by a single question. How do you build something modern without disturbing something ancient? Construction of Maraya began in 2018 and was completed in an astonishingly short time, less than 2 years. This speed was remarkable, not because it was rushed, but because of the precision required. Thousands of mirrored panels had to align perfectly, each one reflecting the desert without distortion. Crossing into Maraya feels like crossing a boundary. Outside, silence dominates. Inside, sound comes alive. The concert hall within Maraya is a space built for human expression. Music, voices, and movement fill the interior, creating a powerful contrast with the stillness outside. The acoustics are carefully tuned. Technology supports the experience without overwhelming it. The design remains intentional. There is no excess, no unnecessary ornamentation. Everything serves purpose. Here, art does not fight its environment. It exists within it. Despite its remote location, Maraya has hosted world-class performances and international cultural events. During festivals like Winter at Tantara, artists from across the globe gather in AlUla, bringing sound and creativity to a land shaped by silence. This contrast is what makes Maraya extraordinary. A place once crossed by caravans now welcomes orchestras. A valley shaped by ancient footsteps now echoes with modern voices. Maraya does not erase history. It continues it. Maraya also reflects a broader moment. Saudi Arabia is redefining how it engages with culture, art, and the world. Rather than building symbols of dominance, projects like Maraya signal a desire for dialogue between heritage and innovation, between past and future. This is not about spectacle alone. It is about identity. Maraya reflects its surroundings just as the country reflects on its own narrative, acknowledging history while imagining something new. Maraya matters because it challenges modern assumptions. In an era where architecture often screams for attention, Maraya whispers. In a world obsessed with standing out, it blends in. In a time defined by speed, it asks us to slow down. It suggests that progress does not always require dominance. Sometimes it requires listening. Maraya asks a question few buildings dare to ask. What if the future is not about being seen, but about seeing clearly? As the sun sets over AlUla, Maraya becomes almost invisible again. The desert takes center stage. The building fades into reflection, waiting patiently for the next change in light. Maraya does not impose itself on the land, it mirrors it. A reminder that the most meaningful creations do not always announce themselves. Sometimes they exist quietly, reflecting the world and inviting us to do the same.